Hello and welcome to Shimba channel. I'm a Japanese native speaker and beginning English learner. Today, let's talk about Japanese story manners based on my own experiences in Japan. Many of these rules aren't officially written down, but they're essential to know. Let's start with the manner you should follow before you even get on the train. The first thing you'll notice is that people wait in an orderly line to board the train. Typically, while waiting on the platform, people line up in an orderly fashion at a designated boarding area. When the train arrives, they first wait for passengers to get off, and then the people at the front of the line get on one by one. This is true regardless of the train type or operating company. Even on the Shinkansen, where you have a reserved seat, you will see people lining up. Of course, during less crowded times or at the smaller stations, people might not line up if there's no one else around. But at the urban station, where there are lots of people, you'll generally see queues. During rush hour, the lines can be very long, but cutting in line is frowned upon and can lead to trouble. You also need to pay attention to which car you are boarding. In Japan, there are women-only cars, where a specific car is designated for women during certain hours. What makes it confusing is that these cars are women-only during specific times, but they operate as regular cars at other times. It can be hard to tell without reading the signs carefully. There are various opinions about women-only cars even within Japan. Still, to be considerate and avoid any potential trouble, it's probably best for men to just use a different car if they don't have a specific reason to be here. Next, let's look at the manners for when you're on the train. You'll sometimes see people who stay right by the doors because it's convenient for getting on and off. However, blocking the area in front of the doors make it difficult for others to board and exit, so it's best to avoid doing this. Even if the train isn't crowded, it's a good habit to avoid it. But during rush hour, it can be dangerous. If you don't move from near the door area, you might literally get pushed off the train by people trying to get off. In this situation, it's better to temporarily step off the train, even if it's not your stop. Once most people have exited, you can get back with the other passengers. When you do this, regardless of the order, you can be the first to get back on without bothering anyone. I once saw a tourist who was blocking the doors get pushed and fall down, so please be extra careful, especially during crowded times. You also need to be mindful of your luggage during crowded times. It's not a problem when the train is empty, but during rush hour, it's a good idea to take off backpacks and hold them in front of you. This is because a backpack on your back takes up a lot of space and can bump into other passengers, which can cause conflict. By holding your luggage near your feet, you can reduce these issues. So during rush hour, take your backpack off and hold it by hand. If you have a lot of bags, you could also put them on the overhead rack, but be careful as it can be difficult to get them down when it's crowded. Next up is eating and drinking on the train. This can be tricky because it depends on the type of train, the time of day, and the smell of the food. Generally, eating and drinking alcohol are not encouraged on local trains. However, in my opinion, light snacks like gum or candy and non-alcoholic drinks are generally fine. For example, eating a hamburger or an onigiri rice bowl or drinking a beer on a local train would be frowned upon. But drinking water or soft drink is usually okay. This is also varies by train type. On trains with reserved seats, like the Shinkansen, eating and drinking are considered normal. You'll see many people eating bento boxes or drinking a beer on the Shinkansen. Japanese trains also have priority seats, which are designated for elderly people, pregnant women, and others who need a seat. Generally, anyone can sit in these seats, but you're expected to give up your seat if someone who needs it is nearby. For regular seats, you're not forbidden from giving them up. If you see someone who looks like they need a seat, it's a nice gesture to offer your seat if you don't mind. Since people sometimes decline the offer, I personally stand up and move to a different spot when I see those who need seats nearby. This way, they can decide for themselves whether to sit in the empty seat or not. You should also avoid talking loudly or making phone calls on the train. Of course, you are allowed to talk to the people you are with, but you should avoid loud conversation or laughing. Making phone calls is also generally not encouraged. If people on the train get a call, many people will answer a call, quickly explain that they are on the train, and say they'll call back later. In an emergency, it's unavoidable, but in that case, you should try to speak as quietly as possible. Finally, let's talk a little bit about what to do after you get off. This might not be a big deal to everyone, but if you have trouble at the ticket gates, especially at crowded urban stations, some people might get annoyed. As I mentioned in another video, transfers can sometimes be complicated at the gate. If you are a tourist, it's a good idea to check in advance or wait until the gates are less crowded before you try to go through. Today we looked at some specific train manners in Japan. I've covered all the ones I could think of. What do you think? Many of these might be unique to Japan. When you visit, it might be a good idea to keep these in mind. Thank you for watching my video today. I hope you find the information helpful. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Your feedback is invaluable as I continue to create content. Goodbye.